Hello farmers, and welcome back to Pichonniere Valley. Hopefully everyone's having a good Wednesday so far. Hello Garner, John, Bob, welcome. Hope you guys have been doing well today. For today, for our starters on Pichonniere, we're going to go ahead and we got ourselves the manure spreader. I got to take care of our 3 grass fields and just make sure they're topped off with much as fertilizer as possible. So that's what we're going to start off with today. Actually, let me get the mini map up as well. I need to unfold that. Shouldn't take us too long with the 2 small grass fields, but the other one may take just a moment or two. And then we should be able to go right on into September, where we're going to be planting some spelt in a couple of fields. Also probably selling some goat cheese and also maybe some mayonnaise. It all depends on the pricing of that stuff and see how it's going. And where we go from there, who knows? I don't know if we're going to zip like right into the winter months or whatever today, but we will see. We'll also have to take care of some weeds as well, because planting weeds are going to regrow, and you'll have to do some spraying as well. But that shouldn't take us too long, I don't think either. But we'll see what we get done. Should have plenty of manure to go on all the fields. Should not be lacking in that department. Manure is something I should be spreading, really, though, when the grass has been cut. This grass is actually in the growth stage. But we'll get some fertilizer on down. Also, in the meantime, we're going to keep our eye on the sale page, just looking for anything that we have been looking for to come up for sale. I'm not going to go out and buy those things just because it's on our list, because I am trying to save up for the bigger dairy production that's on the map, and then that way we can get rid of the one that's right here in the yard. Actually, if I go by bird's eye view, it's much easier to see where we've been with the manure spreader. I think I can almost get both of these small fields done with the one load that we have. And I think the rest of the field on this side's been done. Yes, it has been. All right, let's go back to the other side. I think there's a small little spot somewhere. There it is. All right, that's done. Let's sneak across. Oh yeah, I do got to feed the cows before we go on to September as well. At least I think I do, but I'm just going to feed them anyways. Make sure they're topped off. So the little white spots that you are seeing in the grass field, that's where I put some lime down yesterday. I do believe we put lime down in the stream yesterday. With the Variedo Pack DLC. Our grass field is getting beat up a little bit. Every time we come in here to work, you will lose a little bit of your grass field here and there from just wear and tear. So that is with some bare spots that we have in our grass field. At some point we will get one of the seeders from that pack, so we can come back in here and reseed the fields. But we're not that desperate yet. Let's just get this little corner piece done, then we'll top off the spreader, then go to the bigger grass field where probably have to make a couple of trips. Roadcraft had a patch for the... Yeah, I saw the patch for Roadcraft earlier today. We'll be back at Roadcraft on Friday. At least I will be. If you decide to come along and watch. Yeah, I got to get back on the Roadcraft on Friday to work on the expansion DLC. We got the first map about 80 some odd % done, and I'm working on the second map. Second map does require a bit of driving around here and there. Alright, that field is all set. Hello, Emma. Welcome. Hope you're having a good, and if I remember correctly, you're having a good Thursday. An early Thursday morning for you. Refill with manure. Also, those wondering about Farmer's Dynasty, if I'll be doing that this week, the answer is no. So Farmer's Dynasty 2 did have a patch yesterday, and it created a mess on my farm. Some of my vehicles are missing. They're all back reverted to the way they would be if you bought them, so they're all rusty and everything. Can't fix them. But I did post this on Discord last night. So I did go into Farmer's Dynasty 2. The biggest thing for me, I thought it was going to be crafting. We have a slider bar so you can craft a whole bunch of items at once, or of a particular item. And so I went in there. I wanted to make the candlesticks because the candlesticks required this one piece of wood to make one candlestick. So I had a lot of wood piled up in my storage. I made candlesticks. I also went down to the store where I sold all my previous wood. I bought all that previous wood back from the store to bring back and make candlesticks. And once I got done converting all the wood into candlesticks and selling it, I now have $1.6 million in my bank account on Farmer's Dynasty 2 on the old farm. So needless to say, I'm not hurting for money on that anymore. Yeah, I think things are broken in Farmer's Dynasty worse after the patch. I think the game let me craft more candlesticks than I had wood than I should have. Yeah, that game. So right now, and a couple of my tractors I can't even use. So I don't know what they did. If I gotta start a whole new save file over, that's gonna be kind of frustrating. I'm not sure if I could handle that if I had to, honestly. But yeah, I only had one tractor I could actually use, so I had to use that traveling back and forth to the store. Or at least I drove it down to the store. Then I teleported from the store tractor back to the truck that was at the farm when I had the load of candlesticks. But then I got curious. I tried to hitch up the one tractor I had, and it wouldn't hitch up to any of my implements. So I'm not sure what they did to Farmer's Dynasty 2, but yeah, they may have to revert back to what it was, or I hope everything is just not glitched and not working. And you know, this happens with early access games. They may have to say, well, you gotta start a new save file. And seeing I'm already 50 hours in, that would be a lot of work to get caught up on. Also, with all the selling of the candlesticks, I earned a lot of points in the teamwork, and I did unlock being able to go on dates with the ladies, and I'm almost very close to be able to unlock getting married as well. So if Farmer's Dynasty gets that whole problem with the tractors and all that situated, next time we do play Farmer's Dynasty, one, will have loads of cash to play around with, and 2, we should be able to go on dates and we can start looking at relationship kind of stuff in the game. But we'll see. That won't be happening this week. I got well, today obviously we're doing Farming Sim. Tomorrow I'm not streaming, and then Friday and Saturday I kind of plan on doing Roadcraft. But also next week, unless this changes, the other game I was talking about yesterday, Hillshade Farm. Hillshade Farm should be coming out on the 21st of April, which would be next week. I had a lot of fun in the demo side of things, so but we'll see, mate. See what happens next week when next week comes. How am I doing on manure here? All right, we're almost through the first batch of manure. Actually, I might be able to get the field done with what we have here. Let's get more of a bird's eye view so I can see the brown stuff on the ground. But yeah, in Farmer's Dynasty 2, that's right, I have $1.6 million in the bank account. I think I could afford to buy almost every field at this point. And we may do that next time we play if I, just go over some calculations. But I mean, the fields aren't that much. And that might complete the chapter that we're on. And that is all the manure. I'm going to call that good on this grass field. I know it's not fully covered, but I don't want to come back just to spread manure for about 3 seconds for what little is left. We will give the manure spreader a quick rinse. And we'll give the Fent a wash. Is that rust or paint peeled? I think it's a paint issue, not a mud issue. Let's give Ronnie the rooster a shower. No, he didn't like that. Now he's flapping his wings trying to get dry. Those tree limbs are just enough in the way to make it a little bit difficult to back into here. Yeah, right. TMR for the cows here. I think there is some in the mixer. Alright, we'll dump that in. Are they going to take all of it? They did. Alright, so we'll go make some more. So I'll need the 3650 for that. Oh, teleported right to it. How nice. Feed Sam too. He's somewhere, but I'll have to remind myself to give him a bowl of food. Grab the weight first. Alright, so it should be one straw bale. If I can actually get the prongs where they need to be. That's in, and then it's 2 silage and 2 hay bales. We'll grab this white one first, because that's the older one. Not that it matters in the game, but we'll get this one in. Even the saran wrap and all. And then 2 hay bales. And this should last the cows for quite a while, this mixture. I'll park the 3650 in here. Actually, I'll probably be using this for the weed spraying. So that's a little bit over 80,000 liters of TMR that we just made. How are they doing on bedding for straw? I think I checked yesterday, and I think they're okay. Yeah, they're good. I mean, they could take 1 bale, but we'll wait just a little bit more. Alright, so the cows are taken care of. The chickens I know are fed. I think that does all the field work that we need to do. The cow barn, we're using that new mod that came out this past week that enables automatic distribution of milk. So that's going to be automatically going into the dairy production. So we don't have to take care of that at all. So let's get set up for planting crops in September. That's good to go. We'll be doing some rye. Bob wants us to feed Sam, so we shall do that. And yeah, let me just check the sale page to remind me and also you as well. Yeah, we're looking for a specific combine. The combine I think I will upgrade to is I think it's this one right here. This kind of design. We'll probably go with like the 313 horse. Although 9,000 liters, if I upgrade it to 354, maybe I'll go to a 354 for 10,000 liters. Don't think I can make the capacity any bigger. Not that we really need to, but the main thing I want to do is get ourselves a bigger header for our combine. What's actually the longest pipe we can get for this thing? Oh, we can get a pretty big pipe, so that means we can get ourselves a pretty big header for that. Do I have... I don't know if I activated the headers on this series because I didn't think I'd be using them, but I think we will eventually. So yeah, I need to get those activated at some point. Not going to worry about it. I'm not harvesting crops today, so... but I guess I could just get the Macdon. I think the Macdon will have transport wheels. It does. It does. That's probably like the biggest header I would go for. We don't need to go too big, but a 6 meter wide on this series here is starting to get a little bit on the small side. All right, fast forward time until evening. We'll check the sale page just before we go to bed. And well, we got a header for a forage harvester. We don't need that, do we, Sam? No, we do not. Okay, I tried to hit the rest button, but I think I hit pet the dog. Sam, you got to get out of the trigger. No? He just wants to be... He just wanted to be pet. Oh, wait. Sleep. There we go. Got far enough away from Sam. That'll work. A little bit of rain for the crops that we planted. Never hurts. All right, rise and shine. Milk has been transported to the dairy production. Sale page. I would like a telehandler at some point, but yeah, we're not doing that today, I don't think. And now let's go ahead and look at the stock market page. Cheese for 1996. That is way above. Well, I shouldn't say way above. Last year's price was 1962. So we got $100,000 worth of cheese. Mayo, 41.04. That price is currently going up, and we got about 60,000. So we got like $150,000 worth of material here. But yeah, the cheese. Let's go sell the cheese, shall we? So I don't think I'm going to start planting first. I'm going to go sell the cheese. I'm not one for doing a lot of forage work. I've done some in the past, but it's not something I really get involved too much in. I'm having a brain fart of where my trailer is back here. I was like, where is my dolly trailer? I will be doing some forage harvesting on Shamburgo at the end. I'm going to be doing some corn maize there. I don't have any plans on doing any forage harvesting here. I will have to mark the warehouse. I'm not really sure I know where that is currently. I want to say it's up by the livestock market, but I'm not too sure about that. Warehouse, tag place. Is that up here? Yes, right across from the livestock market. So, I knew something. All right, we need the John Deere 3650. Forage work is, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it done before, though. I mean, it's pretty, I mean, it's just nothing more than like a harvester, but you're just doing something different with a crop. Alright, this is going to be probably, might be a little bit painful to watch because it's been a moment since I've done forklift. Work, but we'll see how it is. I don't know how much cheese we got here, but actually I can kind of tell. How many liters of cheese do we have? Oh, that's going to be like 50 pallets. These are 1,000 liters apiece, I do believe. This may require a couple of trips. So we're going to try to get as many on as we can. Oh no, they're going to start. Just love it when they start jiggling on their own. Probably should be strapping these in as I go. Which I will kind of do. Because once they're on, let's get them on and make sure they are on. And that way they won't fall back off. A tree is, I like the trees are on the farm, but obviously when you're trying to do work in third person, they can be kind of a pain to deal with. Well, there's technically about 12 of them. One did fall over, but that's 12 of the 50. So, yeah, it's not going to take me too long to actually load these up. And, of course, the price that we saw for the cheese, that is before our environmental score bonus, which I don't know what that current score is, but I'm assuming we're going to get at least 10%. Let me go ahead and make sure these are all strapped on. I was going to say, gotta be a strap there somewhere. That's 20 of the pallets. So we're almost halfway loaded. Let me put the camera on this side. That way the tree's not as much in the way. Trying to stack them as close as I can together here. No. Alright, let's not try to slide that one over more. That is an auto-loading trailer I do have, so if I really wanted to, I could just drive over here, hit a button that would have been loaded up in like half a minute. Okay, half a minute? Probably half a second, just about. Alright, this is getting a little bit messy here at the end. Come on. I mean, you gotta fall over. Not ideal, but... I gotta get that pallet so it's facing way so I can load it up. Then the tricky part is I gotta go over to the other side and get that squared away on the ones that fell over. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 times 4 would be 28. So 28 of the 50 pallets are kind of loaded. Oh, no, 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 no. Getting the pallet forks high enough so it's not hitting the bottom ones, but also low enough to where it's leaving the top one there. Oh, come on, you were sliding off so nicely. And this is where the tedious part is starting to come in. And way to go, Einstein. Alright. So first time I'm using super strength. But I don't want to get too tedious here. You were on there, fair and square. I don't want to be spending too much time doing this, so yeah, I'm going to start breaking some of the rules, because that's the way I feel today. The other problem I might have here, loading this up like I am, is getting up the hill with these many pallets. Let me go ahead and strap those in, and now I should be able to get that on there, and the bottom one is not going to go anywhere. Perfect, that's what we want to do. Nope, we're not going to auto load just yet. We're fine. A little bit of super strength. My farmer ate his Wheaties this morning. And the thing about auto-loading would be, I don't think this loader, I got it set to stack as high as I'm going to be stacking it. Can I go do... Ooh. I might not be able to stack them this high. Alright, I think I'm just going to go ahead and make 2 trips, because that's going to be a little bit too much. Now let's go ahead and fold that back up. Yeah, let's go ahead and make 2 trips. That way we're not struggling to get up the hill either. Oh, I just remembered, on this map here, I don't get that many weeds in my fields. So I may not be weed spraying them all. We'll have to see how much weeds we got. So in just a little while, we should be somewhere right around $200,000 in the bank account. Pardon me, coming through. Alright, did this before. The drop-off point here at the warehouse is actually over here. Alright, so yeah, I got us up to 150, but the next load's not going to be as much. Dolly trailers, let's push them back and they'll be fine. Alright, so about 22 more pallets to go grab. And we'll come up and sell those, and then we'll get to drilling our fields. Which, in the two fields we got, we're putting in rye, I believe. And that will make all of our fields planted for the year. I thought, yesterday when I was planting, I had mostly spring crops. And as it turns out, I don't have any spring crops that we're planting. Time to get a fixed wheel one instead. I think on this map the dolly trailer is better. As much as I hate trying to back up with them, the dolly trailers are better at getting around tight corners. And we got tight corners I gotta deal with here, so getting a fixed trailer, that'd be a pain. Getting into some of these areas. Not get that lined up good at all. Yeah, but I have to go up and sell, like, the mayonnaise. It's going to be kind of rough getting in there with a fixed trailer. Alright. The pallets you can see here, this is it. So this is all the cheese that we made, I think, since last December. Luckily, this middle post on this trailer is not a collidable, so I can just drive right on through it. Now, we may be selling more cheese again in October, because the price is going to peak. Or maybe it already has peaked, but it's supposed to be best somewhere around midnight. But as we saw the price now, don't want to take the chance of this dropping more than what it already is. I mean, it's already like $30 higher than the best price was last year. And there's all the cheese. Well, what's left of the cheese anyways. Strap it in, fold it up. Back to the warehouse. Looks like we got a little bit of morning fog here in Pichonniere, and also we got some more rain in the forecast. Will we get up to 200,000? Yeah, this sell point for the dolly trailer is just make it just harder backing up. That's because I suck at backing up dolly trailers. But I'm going to need the dolly trailer for the other sell points. And we did hit 200,000. 202,549 is what we got to. All right, back to the farm. So another 150,000 to go for the large dairy production. Again, when I keep saying large dairy production, it's not going to produce faster or anything than the one we already have. But that was kind of my first goal on Pichonniere, is to buy that large dairy production. And the one we have was just a temporary one to get better profit from the cows instead of just selling milk, of course making cheese. So it's just a temporary production. Kind of forgot. Did I look to see what our farm value was? Again, in this series, our farm value when we started on day one was 0. We just sold $100,000 worth of cheese. Alright, the beacons we don't need. This is probably going to be needed for the mayonnaise next. So I'm just going to park this right here. Mayonnaise, yeah, we're waiting on that. That price is increasing. And, oops, just ran right into the pallets of mayonnaise. Alright, we need our direct drill. And we'll do the smaller field first. That way we'll get it done a little bit quicker. And just having one of the fields off the list while I'm doing the bigger field will make myself feel just a little bit better about it. But yeah, what is our farm value currently? And by the way, again, we got about $65,000 to $70,000 worth of mayonnaise, and I think we're still producing it. The farm value is now 2.4 mil. So yeah, we have come quite a ways. Hello, Miles. Welcome. Hope your Wednesday is going well. Eggs. Yeah, I'm going to have to move some of the eggs around because they're getting kind of full. And I think those eggs... let me look at productions here. Mayonnaise. Yeah, I got plenty of eggs in there. And are we still making oil? Oh yeah, we're still making plenty of canola oil. So we got a lot more mayonnaise to come. Does the mayonnaise price, I know it said mayonnaise is great in October, but is it also great again in December? Mayonnaise. Actually here it says January is the best price for mayonnaise. Why did I thought it was October? Mayonnaise. Yeah, here it says mayonnaise is best in October, but that price chart showed me December. So we may not be selling that next month. Yes, this field has some nitrogen in it. It does kind of look like I may have put manure down here. Or that's just the chopped material from the canola when we harvested it. So maybe after I plant this field, we'll have a quick look to see how the other fields look on the weed side of things. And if we got a field that's got a good amount of weeds into it, we'll go spray it. But I think for the most part, we're not going to have that many. Alright, Helen's done. Nice to have the horse direct drill on the farm. About as big as we can pretty much get with a horsepower requirement that we restrict ourselves to. At least for drills that are direct drills, because we are doing precision farming, and the best way to get your tillage score up to 100% on that is using a direct drill. I also just realized, though, I'm not planting any crops for the chickens. Winter wheat. I got 56,000 liters of winter wheat. Chickens are taking about 25,000 per year. And that's what's in storage. That's not what's in their feed troughs. So I got enough food for a couple of years. No plans of doing root crops on this map. And definitely not in the books for Shamburgo either. So I probably won't be doing root crops for quite a long time in Farm Sim. And with the Shamburgo series not that far off from ending, I'm going to be there for like another year. I'm probably going to take a break from doing recorded series on Farm Sim 25. The Farm Sim videos have just really starting to tumble on viewership. And I don't really have any interesting challenges to give myself on any other series right now, so probably just once I get done with Shamburgo, will be here on Pichonniere Valley. Yeah, we should be fine on the chicken food for at least a couple of years. I suppose when I get to next year's harvest, if the math is not mathing, I could always buy a field that has a crop in it that we can buy and harvest it. But we should be good for at least a couple of years on the chickens. But next year, I would definitely have to plant a crop for the chickens. Oxygen Davis map looks interesting. I think, like I was talking yesterday, that with Farm Sim 25 getting to be out now for 18 months. I mean, obviously when Farm Sim 25 came out, our live streams, but I mean, I'm just going by my channel and also talking to other content creators, what they're experiencing a little bit. But yeah, we were, the first couple weeks, we were getting about 200 people in the live streams. And then it slowly has dwindled down, 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 down. And now if I get 50 people watching the live stream for Farm Sim 25, I'd consider that a good stream. I think part of it also could be with the DLCs that Giants are coming out with, it's not interesting enough DLCs to, get people back into playing Farm Sim 25. But yeah, I'm not the only content creator. Like I said, I've been talking to like 4 or 5 others, and yeah, they've seen a drop off as well. But that's to be expected. Same thing happened in 22. I barely went through any seed or fertilizer planting this field. But I mean, it's kind of a smallish field. So while we get ready to go over to the other field, let me have a look at the map and see how much weeds we got in the fields that we planted. Turn on weeds, turn that off, turn that off. So yeah, we're getting ready to plant in this field here, so don't be too concerned about all the weeds there. So we just planted this one. We planted field 24, and look at that. There's no weeds there whatsoever, other than the corners where I didn't drill. This field here, no weeds. And this field here, no weeds. So the only field I got... Wait a minute, this is not even my field. I thought this field was this field. Yeah, 63 is not even my field. I don't have any weeds. I don't understand here in Pichonniere Valley why my fields don't get any weeds. I get some, but not hardly enough to even bother going out with the See and Spot weed sprayer. I think this field here last year when I planted it had a decent amount, so I'll have to wait and see when we get to October if weeds grow. Yeah, it just says needs rolling. It doesn't say weeds at all. And I didn't plow the fields or anything. So I have no idea. Well, FS25 brought a lot of visual new stuff to the game. And it brought new crops to the game as well. They're really starting to get constructibles involved into the game, but the problem with constructibles, financially looking at it, it doesn't quite make sense. Like building your own house with constructible material, it's just way too much. But again, let's be honest, in Farm Sim 25, it's not that hard to make money either. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the next DLC is going to be. I know some people were not happy with the Veredo DLC that just came out about a month ago. Not because of what they introduced with the Veredo pack, but tying in the wild boars with it was what some people did not like, because obviously, depending on what map you're playing on, some areas of the world don't have wild boars, so it kind of takes the immersion away if you're trying to be, you know, immerse yourself into the area that you're trying to farm in, and then you got wild boars going around. Like right now, we are playing on a French map. I have no idea if they have wild boars in that area. But same thing can be said for the states. The southern states here will have wild boars. Up here in the northeast where I'm at, we don't. So if I was playing on, you know, if I was trying to play on a map that resembled my home area, wild boars don't fit. And we don't have an option to turn on or off the wild boars as a visual. I mean, yes, you can deactivate that DLC, but if you want to use the Veredo stuff, then the wild boars are going to come with it. I think they could have kept the concept of wild animals destroying your crops. They could have kept that concept. They could have done it with the deer, because the deer are already in the game. But again, I know some people say, well, there's not deer everywhere in the world either. But yeah, I'm just trying to find a happy medium here. But like where I am, we do have a good amount of deer, and they do destroy the crops a little bit, especially when it comes to corn. There are 2 million wild boars in France, according to Google. Alright, so I mean, on this map it kind of fits, I suppose. But in the UK, do you guys have wild boars running around? And I know there's a lot of UK maps out there. Don't think you have wild boars in Scotland either, but you could be wrong. Yeah, I would know if that's true or not true. I have no idea. So at this point, once I get this field planted with rye, I think I'm done with September. We can move on to October, where our grass fields will be ready to be cut. And since we got a good supply of hay, silage already for the cows, all the grass we cut next month is just going to be baled, wrapped, and that silage will be sold in November. Hello, Ben. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Looks like you got wild boars in Scotland. Okay. I know down south here in the States, it's a big problem with wild boars. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't give an option, though, with the wild boars in the DLC to have them turn on or off as a visual. Giants is usually pretty good about having options of having things on or off. Although I know some people would like to have the ground deformation turned off in the game also. So by the time we get around to selling that mayonnaise, looks like it won't be until December. By then we should have a good amount of it. Also selling the silage bales. Yeah, by next spring we should have the dairy production purchased. And that is on the opposite side of the sawmill. Kind of up by the gas station where I usually go on the way to the store. So I think this is our biggest field that we own, and I don't have any intention on buying any more fields for the farm. Because if I do end up buying more fields, then I think I'll have to start looking at doubling up on equipment. Because I can't get a bigger drill. So I almost have to get, you know, by getting more fields, it just means more drilling. So yeah, I'd have to get like another drill. The Kubota, which eventually we're going to get, would be able to handle what this can handle. So the first field of rye that I planted, that field doesn't get that many weeds either, or hasn't in the past. This is the only field that may get a decent amount of weeds. Again, I'm not sure if anyone else is playing on Pichonniere Valley with weeds turned on, but I don't know if you're having the same, I guess I can say, luck with the weeds not growing in that much. Seed yeah, wow, words are tough. Seed consumption is not that high in this field either. And yeah, since we did fertilize it at some point, I guess, yeah, we're not going through that much fertilizer in the drill. It does look like I put down the cow manure in this field, but I don't remember doing it. Hello, Kells. Welcome. Hope your Wednesday is wonderful. So yeah, with the fields pretty much taken care of, and the only thing left we got to do this fall into winter is the grass field. Yeah, we should be, I think we'll get to the winter months today a little bit. Oh, that's right. Got to move the eggs out of the chickens, or else we're going to wake up in October with messages of no more room for the eggs. So far it's been crap, but it's turning it around. That's, you know, that's... It's always one way, a couple ways to look at life sometimes when things are going really bad. Sometimes you can say, well, it can only go up from here, and you hope it does. But I'm glad your day is starting to turn around. Few more passes and drilling will be done. So I'm just been thinking financially here, money-wise. 200,000, should have $100,000 in mayonnaise by the winter. I'm trying to remember how much I got for silage here, but I want to say it's like 40,000. And then if I sell eggs, and maybe a little bit of cheese still. Oh yeah, by winter we should have enough money to buy the other dairy. Alright, planting complete. I should double check on this before I say this out loud. How many fields do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arable fields. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I did plant them all. Alright, so that is done with. So let's take this back to the yard. We'll park up the drill. Give it a good rinse. Ah, Ronnie's back over here spraying with a pressure washer again. And the fan, Ronnie, you over here? Where did Ronnie go? Ronnie's down there. Great demand at selling point for mayonnaise. Well, okay. What's the price of the mayonnaise? 45.61 compared to the high price of 43.60. Guess what I'm doing next? Time to sell the mayonnaise. It's almost like the game Hermie talking about financial status of the mayonnaise, and it's like, okay, we'll give you a great demand on it. How about that? But I'm going to come over here and move those eggs around. Put those sides down. How much mayonnaise do we have here? 16,000 liters. I think these are 1,000 liters apiece, right? Yes, they are. Okay. So we just got 16 pallets to load, which is not that much, really. I think this is the first time I've sold stuff on a great demand in ages. It's not something I usually luck out on. Because sometimes the great demand comes when it's the off season, so even though it's a great demand on it, the price is still not that great. So the spare eggs, yeah, I'm just going to leave them out here, like I always do. I thought about for a second of putting them into a shed, but if I can grab these without moving all the others around. All right, 8 pallets of eggs stacked. Those will be sold in November. Again, we got plenty of eggs inside the mayonnaise production. All right, now I want to spread the prongs as much as I can. This was just a little bit upset when I came around just a little while ago and knocked the other pallets a little bit, because now they won't be lined up as well. I said I only got 16 pallets, so I don't need this much room, but let me grab these over here. And then I'll try to figure out the mess I made. It's not that much of a mess, but it's a mess still. on. Slide off. Thank you. Again, this is an auto-loading trailer, but as I said at the beginning of this series here, although I just broke the rule earlier today a little bit, I'm going to try not to use the auto-loader unless it gets too tedious. And also no super strength, but I used super strength earlier today when I was loading up the cheese. We had a couple of incidences with the cheese. Instead of just try to fiddle getting the pallets upright and back onto the trailer, I used super strength for about a minute or so. Again, the middle posts on this trailer are not collidable, so you can just drive the pallets right through them. And I'm trying to get them more... No, don't jiggle like that. Trying to get them more towards the front. That way, when I get to the sell point, I won't have to get as much of the trailer in the trigger. I will say I do like this tractor, the 3650. Good all-around tractor for a farm like this. It's good for doing the farmyard stuff like feeding the animals, moving pallets. Although again, I still would prefer a telehandler. Alright, let's, you know what, I can strap them in here. There we go. I just gotta remind myself where the mayonnaise sell point is, but it should be, where did I put that? I thought I knew where it was. Let's go back in here. Mayonnaise, sell point, tag place. I know it's up there somewhere. Why isn't it flashing? I want to say it's right here by the bar and grocery store. I think it's right here. Where it should be. Alright, so we got about $80,000 incoming here. Wonder why it's not showing on the PDA. Wait a minute, but now it's showing me, because I did mark it or tag it, it's showing it there, but not in the PDA. Okay. Third time up the hill. 2 times with cheese, and now for the mayonnaise. Gotta be careful going around that corner because I've almost tipped over there twice. Do I remember the way to get to the bar? Yeah, see the cell. Okay, so it is in through here. Oh yeah, I did want to come in up that road I was looking at. So this is why I want the dolly trailer, because it can take sharper corners. And I kind of needed to get into this trigger because this trigger is not that big. There we go. So I can't see the complete total in one go, but yeah, we're up to 285,000 now. Alright, so I moved the eggs. We did that. Now we sold the mayonnaise. I think I'm all set to go to October. And as you may have noticed, we're not doing that many contracts anymore either. I think at this point, I got enough of my own farm work to do. We don't need to be doing some contracts. Because we were getting pretty much down to sending the Mercedes out to do some mowing contracts. And they do pay rather well. I just don't want to deal with it and just going around the map and cutting grass anymore. I may be selling cheese, so I'm going to just leave this all attached right here. And already we made 2 pallets of cheese. So we are at midday. Check the sale page, and nope, nothing's changed since the morning. The cows should be good on feed, and the chickens should be good on feed. Yep, cows are good. Chickens are still good for over 3 months. We got space for the eggs. Alright, let's fast forward it to the end of the day and check the sale page again before we hit the snooze button. Well, there's a car there and a pickup header for the MacDon, so none of that stuff. Basically, we're looking for a particular Kubota and the particular class combine. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in the store page or anything else I want to buy for the farm as of yet. Whenever we get around to making wine, then we'll be purchasing a few other stuff. Boy, it seems like I'm getting a lot more rain than I have. Seems like it's raining a lot recently. Well, there's a Varieto slurry spreader, but nope. We don't need a mower, and we don't need a mulcher. How long is this rain going to be sticking around for? Somewhere around 10 o'clock. And how much cheese do we have? We got $22,000 worth of cheese. And the mayonnaise price, it looks like that great demand is over. So we'll probably wait until December before I sell that again. And the cheese, $22,000 is not bad. It's actually selling for $2,000 per 1,000 liters, which is better than it was last month. It's 11 pallets worth of cheese. I may sell that today. Actually, you know what? While it's raining, let's go load up that now and we'll bring it up to the warehouse. Let me fire this up. Hit the wrong buttons. That's the button I want. It's only 11 pallets, so it's not that many to load up. And really, that will get us over 300,000 in the bank account. All right, the trailer probably need to be backed up a little bit more than that. But with only 11 pallets, I'm not going to have to stack these too neatly. Since it's not double stacked, I might be able to grab them like this. Goes on there a little bit more, maybe. Be good. Come on. Get off my forks. Alright. These are being a little bit difficult to come off. Oh, there we go. If your stream's acting up like that, I would say refresh the page. Because I'm not getting any notifications. I'm having trouble with the stream. I'm not dropping frames or anything. So I would say refresh your stream. All right, let me just have a look before I forget. Do we have a whole bunch of weeds in that field? None. No weeds. No weeds. So yeah, I don't know why I don't get weeds in my field, but okay. Alright, to the warehouse. Price is just too good to pass up. So yeah, I'm not sure why I'm not getting the weeds. Seems to be a mystery in Pichonniere Valley. But again, this will get us over the 300,000 mark. So roughly when I sell the silage bales, which we're getting ready to make, when I sell those next month, it's going to be very close to being able to buy that dairy production. It may cost me every penny, but I can buy it. But then once I sell the dairy production in the farmyard, I'll get some money back. $308,000. Yeah, YouTube has been doing some weird stuff for the past month or so. Come on, car. Look, you're in my way. Thank you. Hello, Tin Man and Ronnie. Welcome. I think, Ronnie, were your ears burning earlier? Because I always call my roosters on my farms Ronnie the rooster. Like last week when I was uploading videos, normally to upload my videos I record are usually about 30 gigs, and usually I can upload it to YouTube in about 4 minutes, but there were a couple of them last week that took like a half hour. All right, let's get rid of this rain here. And we'll get back to doing some actual field work, which is mowing grass and baling. There we go. Let's drop that off. Maybe just refresh my memory. I do believe it's 350,000 for this dairy production, but let me just go on up there and I'll make sure. Oh wait, that's a sawmill. Sorry. Visit. Yeah, 350,000 for the dairy production. Now, I'm not going to be bringing the milk up here because we got the mod to bring it up here. But where? It's a big building. Where would everything be spawning at? I want to see what the pickup zone looks like so I can prepare myself. Looks like this is where the milk would get dropped off. Why such a big production building? I don't know, but it's the way it is. Interesting. Maybe it won't show the drop off, or the pickup point until I buy it. Yeah, I don't know where the pickup point is going to be. Is it down here? I don't know if this is part of it. Well, we'll find out at some point. At some point we will. Let's see here. What is this? It's in mowing mode. We don't want mowing mode. We want swath mower. There we go. My frame rate, see, why did my frame rate all of a sudden drop to 30? All I did was go up to the dairy production and come back. Now my frame rate is like taking a hit. Hello, Scarly. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Wednesday, and I'm having a pretty good Wednesday so far because I woke up. So those are the good days, I suppose. So again, this grass here, I'm going to make into silage bales. I'm going to sell those in November. It's going to get us very close. Well, I'm going to be selling eggs too, so that should get us enough money. One field down, 2 to go. Well, my frame rate is just taking a dump. It's got to be like sub 40. That's at 40. Still. Thought once I got away from the farmyard a bit. I have to see what happens when I get to the other grass field. If it jumps back up. Which is weird, because I just sold a good amount of pallets. Sometimes it's pallets that cause problems. Yeah, the stream should be fine because OBS should generate it to 60 FPS in the stream. But as I'm playing the game, I'm down to 40. Which, for my PC, this is usually crap. So, depending where I am at on the map doing farm work, I'm usually up around 70. I think they should introduce longhorns. I don't know how far down they're going to go with the husbandry side of things. Not sure I've ever seen a mod for longhorns in any farm sim. Thing is, if we start looking around the world and what farmers do raise on their farms, we can have a lot of different types of animals. I mean, when you get to birds, you could have ducks, geese, turkeys, guinea hens, the amount of different type of cows, as you mentioned. Longhorns, obviously, stick out in our heads here in the States. I know emu farms were kind of a thing for a while. I don't know if in real life if people are still doing that. I'm sure they are. But I know it was real popular like 20 years ago. I know some people are still doing it, but I don't think it's as popular as it once was. Or you just don't hear about it anymore. Alpacas are something else. That could be in the sheep type family for the way it works. Now, what's my frame rate over here? And my frame rate over here is still low 40s. So further on down the road, the first two grass fields that we just cut, when we get to looking at doing some wine, those two small grass fields are probably going to be great vines. And this will be the only grass field that we have, which is more than enough to keep our cows fed. Also, we'll need probably a very small field so I can do sugar beet, because with wine I'm going to need sugar. Oh, and also I don't want to forget, I do want to buy the property adjacent to our farmyard, because that is where the farmhouse is going to be. And yeah, I want to use the whole field for the house. I mean, the whole house is not going to take up the field. But I want to put a house down, put a pond like in the backyard, or maybe the front yard, and kind of really decorate around it, just for fun. Was not expecting to actually get up this high financially today. I mean, we were at 80,000, so it's not like I was broke by any means, but selling $100,000 worth of cheese and mayonnaise just a little while ago, that was kind of a bit of a surprise of getting a great demand for that at the peak time, well, near one of the peak times. So I did talk about it a couple of hours ago, but I realized probably some people came in since then. Farmer's Dynasty, I probably won't be streaming that until next week, especially with the current state that the game is in. Farmer's Dynasty had an update yesterday, which I was happy to see that, or hear that in the crafting menu, instead of crafting one item at a time, we could go and use a slider bar and craft as many as that item that we want to craft at once. So I say as many. Up to 1,000 really is what you could do. So I logged in last night after the stream after a while and got right to crafting because I wanted to make candlesticks. Because candlesticks only require one wood. Doesn't require metal or glass. So I started making some candlesticks with all the wood I had. And when I saw how much money I was making, I then, when I was at the store, bought all the wood back that I sold them and made candlesticks with that. And now my Farmer's Dynasty account on the past farm I have $1.6 million. But the problem is, with the update, I'm missing a tractor. All of my equipment is not painted or look in great condition. And I can't hitch up to any trailers. So that's going to be kind of a problem trying to play Farmer's Dynasty when you can't hitch up to any equipment. And also, when I try to back up to one of the trailers, not only can I not attach to it, but when I backed up too close to it, all the pieces kind of like separated from each other on the tractor. So like the wheels kind of, it's kind of like it was zooming in so you can see the internal part of the trailer. Not sure what was going on there, so I'm a bit nervous about it, because if they say, well, we got to start a new save file, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But that's the story of Farmer's Dynasty, because I know we were having a pretty good following on that series. And I haven't streamed it now in almost a week. I think it was last Thursday last time I streamed it. But financially we're doing great, but I'm not sure what's going on with the equipment on the farm. Oh, but they did also, in the update, and I'm not sure if this is the way they want it to be or this is the way it is, but any fields that you bought in the past, when you go to the future, you own those fields now too. So that was one of the things I think I mentioned yesterday. That was kind of weird that your grandpa bought fields, but when you go to the future, the grandson does not have access to those fields. You have to buy them again. So they made some quality of life changes on Farmer's Dynasty 2 for the good. But now, for me at least, it's kind of broken a lot of stuff. Why is that button? Oh, because I'm hitting the wrong button, that's why. Turn on the automatic drop. Turn this off. I will have to buy the bale wrap very soon. And I'm not sure about the black wrap. I may go back to the white wrap. Did I talk about maybe upgrading the baler at some point? Is that something we can run? If it is, it's going to be the... That requires 275. It might be the Coon. Yes, that 195. So I could always upgrade to that, but then I'll have to buy the wrapper, which is not that big of a deal. But that may run this. Although it's not that big of a pain, just that with the round baler, I gotta stop and wait for it to empty out the baler before it'll pick up any more. amazing how frame rate can drive you nuts once in a while. When you're used to it just being nice and smooth. And now today it was fine at the beginning of the stream, but right around the farm area is just... Alright, did kick back up to 50, which is good. It's kind of like now when I watch videos or something of like TV programs of like back in the 80s, 90s or whatever, and you're watching it now, it looks so grainy and blurry, and back then it didn't seem like it was that way. You're on Kingley? Are you doing any of the offshore stuff? Are you building up the castle, the windmill? What got me into Farming Simulator? Well, at this point, I think many know I started playing Farming Simulator back late in FS13. And what got me in there is I hit the play button. But no, in all seriousness, it was just that I was looking for games on Steam. And at the time, like I said, it was at the end of FS13. FS15 was coming out in about a month. So they had a sale in FS13, and I think I bought it for like $2.99. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try, because I do live where I live. I live out, northeast of the U.S., and I live out in a rural area, and there's a lot of farms around here. So I'm, I've been always kind of interested in farming a little bit. So I said, I should probably try farming just a little bit, see what it's like, and 12 years later, whatever it is, here I am. So I bought white wrap for the bales now. See, I played about a month on FS13, and then when I saw FS15 was coming out, and I was reading FS15, they brought out forestry work along with a couple of other things, but the forestry was kind of the main thing that I remember. Yeah, I bought FS15 when it came out, and yep, been here ever since. And I think the first videos I did in FS were late in FS17, just before 19 came out. I may have like 3 or 4 videos in FS17. That's kind of like when my channel started, kind of. I think it was on Rattlesnake Valley in FS17. It may have been also the Pacific Northwest, so I may actually have more videos in 17 than I think. Okay, off to the big grass field. Bales we'll just leave there until we pick them up next month. And when they're fully fermented, we'll just pick them up and go sell them. I think I got some straw bales on the trailer. Sam has wandered down to the bigger grass field. Frame rate is slowly working its way back up. I did 84 videos on FS17? I don't think I did that many. I would say it's probably all Pacific Northwest with a couple of Rattlesnake Valley episodes in there. I know I did about 300 episodes on Farmer's Dynasty. John is doing all the research. He's starting to be like my personal Google while I'm streaming. I asked about wild boars earlier, and you were giving us information on that. Now you're you're gonna put Google out of business. He can become the Ask Jeeves version 2. Kind of hoping I can buy that dairy production today. I forgot what it was that I want to make in there. I think it's butter. But once I do get that dairy production, I think my next focus will be upgrading the combine for next year's harvest. Although getting another $300,000, $400,000 by next harvest is going to be, that's going to be rough. Now, to be fair, Kells, if you're going to ask John questions, he requires access. He requires access to your personal information, and you have to agree that he can access your cookies. And all that fun stuff. And he also has to look at your search history as well. He has this whole terms and conditions kind of a thing going on. You'll pass. Did we lose you on your search history? Now, see, the weird thing is, when we put the lime down in this grass field, and it kind of shows the bare spots a little bit more, now that I'm in the field cutting the grass, it doesn't seem like there's that many bare spots. Well, after I finish baling up this, I think I'm done with October. Just cruising on through the fall months. Like I said, November. So somewhere around noon in November, these bales will be fermented. We'll sell those. The eggs should be at a good price for the chickens. We'll sell those. And that should be the money that we need for the good old dairy. Well, I'm not going to get another bale, but we'll just leave the grass in the baler. wonder if Sam's going to follow us back to the farmyard. He does like this grass field quite a bit. He's over there quite often. I just realized something on here. Wait, where's my toolbox? Maybe it's over here. It's not worn down that much, but we'll fix whatever it is. Could be the baler. Baler repair for almost 1,700, so that could have been it. Tractor for 849, so that wasn't too bad. Well, I'm not quite sure I know what we'll be hooking up to first thing. It could, well, I'm just going to hitch up to the bale trailer. If I need to switch over to the dolly trailer for the cheese or the mayonnaise, then we will. The straw. Can I sell that at the BGA? Obviously, the animal dealer is a spot I can drop it off at. No, straw has to go to the animal dealer. That's the only place that will buy it, is the animal dealer. I may end up just dropping those off at the cow barn. I don't want to drive all the way up there for 4 bales and get 140 bucks for it, or whatever I would get for it. Alright, so sale page, middle of the day, nothing's changed. Cows, just double check on the animals here. Chickens, yes, they're fine. Cows, another 2 months, yep, they're fine. Alright, let's just skip to the end of the day, check the sale page again. Yep, nothing, something disappeared, but nothing new has arrived. Wonder if sleeping to the night will fix my frame rate. I wonder if it was because of all the different color leaves and stuff on the trees the game was rendering in. Alright, yeah, sale page. Well, oddly enough, we got that spreader already on the farm. We don't need that, and no, we don't want that either. Alright, so what do we got for eggs? $14.58. Well, the eggs are a pretty good price. So, yep, we're going to go sell the eggs first thing. Silage, we know is going to be good. Cheese, the price is dropping, but we'll probably hold off on that until December/January. Also, the mayonnaise price took a dump, but we'll wait on that until later on. But the eggs, we should get, with our bonus, almost 30,000, just shy of 30,000. And then by the time I sell the silage bales midday, we should have enough money for the dairy. But yeah, let me go drop off these, since I am hitched up to this bale trailer, let me drop off these bales here as I drive over the dolly trailer, as one does. We'll drop the bales off over here. I'll pick up the wrap bales, but obviously they're not ready yet. At least they'll be on the trailer, then we'll get the dolly trailer for the eggs. The only thing, the cows, probably 2 of these bales I should put into the cow barn for bedding. Nope, stay on down. Putting you right back to work. See, all those wrap bales in there, hay, straw we got tons of. That is all for the cows. Any straw we get for a while, that would be just sold. Don't need to pile up anymore. Got way too much. Oh, the one thing I need to check, so now we're in November, but I don't think the feeding troughs for the deer, I don't think I'm going to need anything for that. But November would be the month that those contracts come up. And we got any workers? Oh yeah, we got tons of workers taking up contracts already. Mowing, hoeing, cultivating, harvesting. So in our travels around the map today, we might see some NPC workers, NPC farmers doing their own thing. So yeah, the field to our left, that is the field I want to buy to put our farmhouse on. Have a backyard, a pond. Don't really have a design in my head, but we'll work on it. Yep, Sam is still over here in this grass field. I think we just get under 40,000 for the silage bales. Maybe 35,000. That field to our right, that is our field, and I have mustard planted in that one. And next year we'll be taking that mustard up to the oil production, where it's going to make old jars of mustard. These are loaded up again. These will be fully fermented somewhere around noon. go load up some eggs. Alright, put down the guards. 3650. Kind of forgot. Can I pick up 8 pallets of eggs? Put in the forks a little bit. Hope they just don't start shaking everywhere, because that's when problems happen. Let's strap those in quick. Now we will spread the tongs. I should, after I load these up, I'm just going to double check the mayonnaise production, make sure we got still a good amount of eggs in there. I don't know if we're still making canola oil and all that, so need to check on the status. So, canola oil, we're still making canola oil. And the mayonnaise production, I mean, it's not getting low, but I think these other eggs, let's go ahead and put those in there. I don't want to run out of eggs. Actually, you know what? We'll sell these. Chickens are going to make more eggs. And the price is good right now for eggs, so let's just sell what we have exposed here. I mean, I got enough eggs in there to last another month, I think, for the mayonnaise production. And by next month, the eggs will have produced another pallet or so of eggs. I also got, do I have any crop I need to sell? Because usually the crop that we harvest, we're using it either for production or for feeding the animals. Let's see here. If I go to my stock market page. Oats. Yeah, oats, I would sell that. I think spelt I can feed to the chickens also. So it's just the oats that we'll have to sell. $5.99. And that's going to be in January. So, try to remember that. Oh yeah, where are the eggs going? The bar and grocery store. Well, that's the same spot where we sell the mayonnaise. Not the same sell point, but the same location. So other than the grass fields, but I think the grass fields may have enough fertilizer in them. But yeah, all of our fields, they're pretty much all set until harvest. This sell point's a little bit easier to get to other than the mayonnaise production that I put down. Should be able to just drive right on through. So, yep, there's up to 331. I don't think the milk from the cow barn gets automatically distributed until about midnight, but I want to turn that off right now because I want to make sure we use up all the milk in the dairy production that we have, and pretty soon we'll be buying the other one, so if it does happen to distribute it, we'll keep distributing to both. And I want to be able to get rid of the dairy production that's in the yard. But yeah, also, I want to give cows some straw. They didn't run out of straw, did they? Yes, they did. Yep, forgot to do that. So disable automatic milk distribution. Into the John Deere. So 2 bales of straw. So they haven't been out without straw for a while. It's been maybe half a month or so, probably. So the one thing I just lost out on a little bit of is solid manure. So it's not that crucial. It doesn't, straw doesn't affect their milk production. At least I don't think it does. Ladies are happy to hear that they're getting some bedding for the winter. All this you're seeing here is actually manure. I would like to come in here and clean it out, but since I got the manure pit right next door, when I come here to clean it out, it actually takes manure out of the pit and not out of the cow barn. So that's why I stopped cleaning out the cow barn. So, straw, 40,000 liters. Kind of weird that I brought in 40,000 liters of straw. It filled up with 40,000 liters, but I still got a bale sitting here. It's got 66 liters in it. That'll be gone, and by the time I sell the silage bales, that'll be used up. Also, if you're unfamiliar with Pichonniere Valley, this is not the starting farm. The starting farm is kind of more, actually you might be able to see it from here. It's kind of up there on that grassy, knolly hill over there. That's where the starting farm would be. I built my farm down here, so everything that you see here, sheds, cow barn, some of the landscaping has been redone. This up here used to be part of this grass field. And of course, everything you see over here, this used to be fields, but now it's the farmyard. Alright, so we sold the eggs, so the next thing is going to be grabbing the silage bales. I deactivated the milk distribution, so I should get no more milk and the dairy production at the yard. How much is left in there? 10,000 liters, so that's going to take a moment to get through. Alright, let's fast forward till noon. That should be good. These should be all fermented. Silage, silage. I think it all says silage. So let's go to the BGA and sell these. Interesting that you call a 200 hectare size field small. I think if I added up all my fields together, I probably would not even be at 50 hectares. What do I own? Like I own about 7 fields, counting grass fields. Yeah, I don't think I'd even be at 50 hectares. Well, all the money we made today is about to be spent in about a couple minutes. I want to say 36,000 I'm going to get for this. Yeah, about 36,500. Alright, back to the farmyard. And we'll purchase the dairy. I don't know what's really called on the map, but we'll purchase that one. And once our dairy production gets through the milk that's got in it, and I take the cheese, I will take the cheese out of the spawn point just to be sure. But we can go ahead and sell that. Probably get like $30,000 back on it, maybe. Bale trailer, not going to need that until May. So I think we can park this away. All right, let's take a quick trip here. Up to the... yeah, this place. So, yeah, for $350,000, it is now ours. Does it show the drop-off point after I do that? Not the drop. This is the drop-off point. Where's the pickup area? I still don't see it marked. think we may just have to wait until I actually get some milk up here. And we get our first pallet. I mean, you would think it might be over here at the loading docks. Or is there a door that opens? I hope I don't have to, maybe I gotta go inside. Does this open? Oh, it does. Oh boy. I think it might be in here. I think this might be the loading area for the dairy production. What the heck is this for? Storage is empty. Alright, so... well, it's going to be fun loading up things in here. Do these doors open? They do open. Very interesting. Okay, so this is the spawn points here, I would assume. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, are these? No, I think these are just decorative. I was like, wait a minute, are these free pallets? But they're not showing up on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, so I think those are just decorative. Anywho, what I need to kind of look at, and I think do I want to turn it on? I think I wanted to make butter. Because it's 1 for 1 on the butter. Where the base game butter is a little bit less than 1 to 1. And I think this butter here sells for a better price. So the base game butter sells for $12.17. This butter sells for almost $15. So yeah, I think it's definitely the butter we want to make. So do I want to activate it now? I mean, it's only going to cost me $24 per month to run it, so I think I can afford not having nothing there, but at least it'll be active. And there is a cow's milk one as well. 2 different kind of cow's milk, but I think we're just going to stick to the butter. I don't think I need a special location to sell that at. No, it just goes to sell points around the map. But yeah, we own the dairy production, and I kind of like it that we got to come in here to remove the material. Also, this looks like a big spawn point right here as well. So there's 4 there. There's 1 here. And it might be just all random stuff. I got a funny feeling ours is going to spawn over here because this will be like the specialized stuff for the map. The 2 milks and the butters, be my guess. And this would be for like the base game products. Top of ramp indoors. Just caught that, but thank you for the information. Second chance. Yeah, I was starting to wonder why I couldn't find them. Like, wait a minute, do these doors open? Of course. Why did I, black sheet modding? Of course they're gonna do something like that. If I were to wait a minute, I think I would be able to drive up. Open. I think I would be able to drive up here in the tractor and dolly trailer. I could even drive right in this building because it's big enough. I could load up my my trailer, turn around in here and drive right back out. There's plenty of room for that. Okay, so like I said, this has got about, well, I had about 10,000 liters of milk in it. It's down to 7. And this should be holding on to the milk. Yep, that's holding on to it. So that won't get distributed over here. November. Let me just double check on the cows. The cows are good for at least another month. And the chickens are good for another month. So we'll take care of them in December. November, I think we are done with. I did check the sale page. Yes. All right, let's go to the end of the day. double check the sale page. Nope. So I am down to 17,000, so I'm not broke, but I also don't really have enough to do much with. We'll sleep till 9, because it's December. Fingers crossed, no snow on the ground accumulating. Don't see where it's snowing at all, so we should be okay. Sale page. Well, nothing there. Nothing there that we're looking for. So yeah, did my original dairy production go through all the milk? It did. And we do have cheese. So, December, what price is the cheese at currently? $18.93. Price should be going up, honestly. Cheese. Says it's going down, but you can see the jump it should take from December to January. Well, I have to hold on to that for just a little bit. But yeah, how much money did we got in cheese? About $40,000 worth of cheese. What is the mayonnaise looking like? Okay, well, we made a lot of mayonnaise. We're up to $100,000 worth of mayonnaise. But that price is still got to climb by like $600 per. And are we still making canola oil? We are still making canola oil. And we still got eggs, so we're still making mayonnaise. Let me go ahead and grab those eggs that did spawn. Wait, where's my jar? Oh, I brought the... Yeah, down here. I was going to say, wait a minute. I thought it was there, but no, you brought straw bales over. Let me go put those eggs into the mayonnaise production. So it looks like when I sell the mayonnaise and cheese, we're going to be right back up to almost $150,000 in the bank account, which is good because if that combine I want ever comes up for sale, I think it's like 400 grand for that combine. If it's like half off, that kind of puts us in the ballpark of being able to almost purchase it. Those odds can happen because the combine I have is the one I wanted to use for the series. And that came up for sale just before I was getting ready to buy it. So I'm going to park this right here because that'll be the job I do next time when we're on Pichonniere Valley. Loading up cheese and doing all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we got ourselves the dairy production, which is one. So the two productions I wanted when I started the series we now own, which is the oil mill and the dairy production. So like I said, I think the next steps on the farm is hopefully by this upcoming harvest season. Again, nothing wrong with this harvester. The harvester is great. It's just that the header size that we can have maxed out on this, it's just a tad bit too small for what we're doing here. I just want a slight upgrade, which means I have to upgrade the combine as well. So I think that's the next step. Also getting the Kubota tractor, another 200 horsepower tractor on the farm. Probably sell the Mercedes. Yeah, Mercedes just underperforms for what I like it to do. Again, good horsepower, 190 horsepower. And our max horsepower for tractors on the series is 200. Just that being a manual transmission, it's constantly shifting, makes it underperform in my personal opinion. So, and we've actually had that Mercedes. We got good hours on it. Boy, I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna be wrong. Do I got 30 hours on that? How about 43? So I've used it quite a bit. So getting into Kubota. So Kubota and upgrading the combine first if I can, before harvest season. Then we'll look at the Kubota. And then we're looking at some point buying this field over here to put our farmhouse on, because we're still living in a hobo hut. Although the hobo hut is an upgrade. We started off with a pup tent. So now we got a hobo hut. But this field here, I'm not going to buy it for the field. I want to put the farm on it. Or sorry, farmhouse. And this field would cost me $122,000 for a farmhouse. Yeah, it kind of needs to be there, doesn't it? I don't want to put the farmhouse way away from the farmyard. Farmhouse should be kind of like across the street from it. So that's a good fit. So farmhouse will be going on here. I always don't have to use the entire lot for the farmhouse. We could put the farmhouse like back here with a pond, and maybe use the front yard for something else. I plan on putting at that point. Then we got to start looking at making wine, which would be a third-party mod. I haven't looked at that mod in a while, so I don't know the extent of what I need to put down. But obviously, we're going to need to put down the wine production, and probably put in some grapes in these two grass fields. Then I'm going to need a field for sugar beet, and actually probably putting sugar beet maybe on half of this field in the farmhouse in the back. So we're going to need a little bit of sugar beet, because I do know I need sugar to make the wine, which also means I would need a sugar production. I don't think any of the productions we have does sugar. I know the oil mill does a little bit more than basic oil mills. That does the raisin and grape juice. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a sugar production on the map? There is. But it's going to be really expensive, isn't it? 200 grand. I could use a modded one. Or I could just bring it here. Oh, this is right up at the store. I have to see how we're going with money-wise. That's, like I said, the long list of things I just went through. We got a ways before we get to the wine production. But the way the farm's making money might be there sooner rather than later. What is the farm value now? Did it drop? Yeah, it dropped a little bit, which is kind of weird for everything I sold. But when you buy a building, the value drops on it. So earlier our farm was worth 2.4 something million. Now it's just under 2.4 million, even though we just sold a whole bunch of stuff and bought a dairy production. But yeah. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Before I get into more selling stuff, a good 3-hour stream for today. Just a reminder, I'm not streaming tomorrow. And as I speak, I don't have any recorded episodes getting ready to go out, but I might try to get a City Skylines 2 episode out for tomorrow. And I may also try to get one episode of Transport Fever 2 for Friday. I'll be back streaming on Friday, but we're going to be diving back into Roadcraft. Getting back to that DLC that came out a couple weeks ago. And we're 83% done with the first map and about 30% done with the second map. But I think we're going to be on the second map. We're going to be building the construction depot so I can get material to build the power station. Then we'll run the power lines or power cables to all the places that need to go. And hopefully that will unlock the second garage. And also unlock some manufacturing productions on that. So Friday will be Roadcraft unless, like I said, something gets thrown at me. So I always put a condition in there. You know, I do get emails about, here's early access to a game like Hillshade Farm. If I get early access to that, that'd be great. That's a game I want to play. That's scheduled to come out next week on the 21st, I do believe. But yeah, anyways, appreciate everyone being here on a Wednesday for some Pichonniere Valley. I'm not sure when I'll be back on this map as of yet. So stay tuned is all I can say. I'm only trying to plan right now until Friday, which seems to be difficult now, planning my schedule. But again, appreciate everyone being here on a Wednesday watching me do this. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. Have a good Thursday. And hopefully I'll see you all on Friday. But until then, have a good one.